When young people want to relax and get away from the stresses of work, many of them go to clubs like this one. It's a place where they can unwind and be free.
You walk in and it's completely different than any place I've ever been. You know, and you go into a club there and you walk in and it's a shock at first.
Stephen Davis knows how it feels to be shocked. Just a year ago, Davis was at the center of the biggest surprise of his life. His career with the Marine Corps seemed typical the day he graduated boot camp, in his eyes and his father's.
That was probably one of the most proudest moments of his life, you know, them seeing me graduate.
Following boot camp, Davis was selected to join the Presidential Support Program, providing security at Camp David.
Loved it. Loved everything about it.
But Davis quickly found himself in trouble. He was transferred back to Washington, D.C., so his supervisors could keep an eye on him. To escape the problems Davis was having at work, he began frequenting nightclubs. But there is where he met his biggest problem.
I took it for the first time and took 3, and you know, I was in shock of what it made me feel like. The main thing that I thought after that night was I just spent, you know, $75 on 3 of these tiny pills, and you know, and would do it again. Automatically I thought, where do you go to get these cheaper?
Before Davis could realize what he was doing to his body, his career, his life, he was hooked on ecstasy.
I messed up, and I messed up bad.
Davis soon took ecstasy use a step further. He became a dealer, selling pills for $25 to $40 each.
In my mind then, everything, you know, the money outweighed the risk and the damage I was doing.
Davis became one of the main suppliers of ecstasy in Wilmington, North Carolina. Davis recalls the day his ecstasy trade came to an end.
Completely unsuspecting. The guy that ultimately busted me, I'd been dealing with him for a year. My life was going, you know, I mean, I was fine. I was on cloud 9. I was invincible, you know, I felt invincible. Handing the pills, he handed me a couple of wads of money. I started counting, and I saw a lot of movement.
Hands, reach down, open the door now!
I look up and there's, you know, 445s on each side of the car aimed at my face.
Walk around, turn around, keep turning, stop!
There's something shiny behind it.
To your right, son, to your right!
And that's a badge, you know, and I can't even explain that feeling.
When we arrested him, we subsequently found out how big he was. We found approximately 900 additional ecstasy pills in his apartment with approximately $8,000 to $10,000 cash and some other things.
If you get started in this lifestyle, it's going to end up in eventually here. You know, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 18 years, it's going to end up here.
In this game of people involved in the distribution of ecstasy or other illegal narcotics, what they fail to realize is that when you start dealing any type of substance to somebody, you have to be careful who you're dealing with.
You're going to get caught. There is no getting around it. You know, there's no, oh, well, I might be the one. You know, you're not going to be the one. You're not going to be the one that beats the system. You can't beat the system.
Once you get yourself involved in this scene and you start to see how the money is real easy, or they look at it as being easy in terms of obtaining money, word gets around pretty quick.
You know, I got real comfortable. Got real comfortable with everything around me, comfortable with the lifestyle, comfortable with, hey, you know, nobody knows me. You know, nobody's going to ever get me. Amen. And then they got me.
The judge sentenced Davis to 18 years in a military prison. Thanks to a pretrial agreement, Davis will serve only 10, but 10 years is still a long time.
The ultimate end is this, it's a dead end. You know, it's going to end up here. It's going to be a dead end. It's going to be, you know, you're going to be looking out of bars. And I do not want this for anyone. I do not wish this upon anyone. No one. You wake up every day and you're looking out bars, you know. You're looking out bars. I can't leave, you know. I can't go home. I can't see my family, you know.
And it's his family Davis so desperately wants to be a part of again.
It's a big letdown. I feel like I've completely let my family down. I mean, that's, like I said, that's more punishment than being locked up 10 years can ever do.
Spread your legs, son, now, spread your legs.
Andy says he let himself down.
I made some mistakes in the Marine Corps, and those mistakes ended up costing me a lot of great career in the Marine Corps.
With ecstasy use on the rise among young adults, military officials have taken several key steps to combat the problems associated with ecstasy, so more service members don't fall into the trap that Stephen Davis fell into.
When you got 5,000 people in a club, 4,000 of them are on the drug.
One question on the minds of military leaders is, why are so many young adults doing this?
They can't come up with anything wrong with the drug, so why not take it? That's everybody's idea.
But what about the side effects?
90% of the people don't know. They don't know that there's any side effects. You hallucinate. Hallucinate worse than acid, hallucinate worse than mushrooms. It's hallucinations.
Military leaders are doing everything they can to educate service members on the effects of ecstasy, among other drugs. But will the education make a difference?
It would have made a difference if I would have known. It would have definitely made a difference.
But would you have taken it?
I don't know. I don't know, sir.